Η κυρία Liv Carl Skudal Hansteen είναι κάτοχος μεταπτυχιακού διπλώματος στο πολεοδομικό σχεδιασμό και την αειφόρο ανάπτυξη από το Νορβηγικό Πανεπιστήμιο Επιστήμης και Τεχνολογίας. Κατέχει Executive Master of Management σε στρατηγική διαχείριση στο κατασκευαστικό κλάδο και αυτή τη στιγμή είναι διευθύνουσα σύμβουλος της Εθνικής Ένωσης Νορβηγικών Αρχιτεκτών, που μετά από τη τελική ένταξη το 2008 αποτελεί μια ένωση η οποία αντιπροσωπεύει όλο το νορβηγικό μελετητικό συμβουλευτικό κλάδο με 12.000 συμβούλους και 1,5 δισεκατομμύριο τζίρο. Παρακαλώ την κυρία Liv. Thank you very much for the presentation.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me to this beautiful country with such a special and very proud history. I will talk about the challenge in the industry, both the possibility and the challenges. I started out actually as a contractor worker 30 years ago, really working both on maintenance but also building new roads in Norway. And I guess the lesson learned from that time is much the same as today. We need to have a better collaboration. We need to have a common goal when we do project to really make value of what we are doing. And especially actually respect and acknowledge the different knowledge and responsibility we have in the value chain. I will talk about 4 points here, both the megatrends that will affect our industry, and then the threats and challenges, but also the possibility. And as Janus, it has always 2 phases. Every risk, every threat has also a possibility in it that we can explore. If I start with the megatrends, I guess we've been through some of them, but all of those are very important for our industry, both those who are not so pleasant and those who can be an opportunity. And what we see now is maybe the level of insecurity, how will actually the future be? And we need to actually do some scenario thinking to make our strategy for our company more robust. How will this affect our company? How will this affect our business? How will this affect our need of skills? We see 4 threats from outside. What we can see from the global firm that is coming is what we call vertical integration. And what does that mean? That means that there are companies who both have the finance, they do the construction, and they do the design, the consulting. And maybe they earn their money or profit in the finance, so they can really dump, the income, the profit in consulting engineer, the design phase. And that, of course, can make us a threat. And we see also we are attracting other types of businesses on the high end, like McKinsey. They want to grab a bit of our industry. And also in the lower end, we see people who are today just making projects in the industry. They want to take a bigger bite of the whole value chain. And also they're coming in, we see it in England and also in Sweden, brokers who want to be between us and the contractor, or between us and the client, and actually mingling in between. And when digitalization is coming to its speed, we see that they are developing new platforms. So young people think, why should I just be hired by a firm? Why couldn't I just work on my own, from my own computer, from my own home, or from a cafeteria, or from a space I rent, and then just be free, because I can just hook up with anybody, any project in the world, and I don't need this company. And of course, we have artificial intelligence, and that made a lot of those, the volume design we do, the things that are not very, new, they can actually do that for us instead of we doing it. But when we go into our industry and we look at ourselves in the mirror, we have to face that we also have some work to do inside our company. We see, despite even in Norway with a good market and what we think is a better productivity, we have a challenge with our profitability. We don't really have a good profitability. And we see also that we have old business models. We only sell hours usually. And a challenge we also see is the gap between digital knowledge. It can be inside the firm, that the young people are very digital and the old ones, it's usually like that, but also between the company. And how do we fill that gap so everybody is up to speed? Short of skill staff, also our position in the value chain, we have to look at it. We are often subcontractor, undercontractor, but we also are the subcontractor under the subcontractors. So we just need to actually see how should our position be. Early contractor involvement is one way, but this is at least what we see as a tendency. And I think also we have to learn more to manage risk. Risk is both something negative, but it can also be a possibility for us. And if we manage that well, that will be, we will look at in the business model and our profitability. And of course, because we don't earn that much money, we are not in the front when it comes to research and development. So we have a lot of things to work on our own, both as a common thing in the association, but also in every firm. I will put point one thing, and I think this is the main challenge for our industry future, that we're actually selling hours. At least we do that a lot in Norway, and we should focus on selling value for the customer. It's two different things. And especially when we come to digitalization, we do things very, very fast. We use parametric design. We can do things that we before used 20, 40, 50 hours. We can do that in minutes now. So we cannot have these old models only in the future. But there are also a lot of possibility in this industry, and I will focus on them and give you some advice, at least from my point of view. Improving business conditions should be the #1 priority. We learned from EFCA and then through the Netherlands about the best value in procurement. And we started lobbying that in 2013, actually. And it was a long, long road, lobbying. But suddenly it was like the ketchup effect. Suddenly the public buyers thought, maybe we should try that. And now we have projects over 5 billion euros in public procurement of best value. And the thing is that it gets better collaboration between the value chain, between the contractor and the consulting engineer. It reduces conflicts, and it really also reduces transaction costs. We also think that standard contract and using standard condition is also help for us. We don't need all those lawyers. We can reduce also transaction cost through the period. And of course, digitalization. We need to do that in a big way and seek new business models. So what is digitalization? I would put it in two ways. One is just the thing we do in skills and so on. We streamline things, we do it more effectively, we optimize things. But it also has to do with business. It could be new products or new clients. And I will show you this model. And I think we are in the left down corner here. We are very good at streamlining and optimizing everything. We use BIM models, and we do parametric design and other things, use artificial intelligence. But actually going there and see what we sell, can we also sell new services, taking another position in the value chain, not only when things are designing, but also when it's built, maybe it's other type of clients. And this is what we are really challenging our industry, to seek new products, new services, and new markets. And I will give you some example of that from a Norwegian perspective. We are so lucky that we have some really, really good firms. The CEO of one of our firms are actually sitting there, Mr. Gaute Mo. He's raise your hand. He's the CEO of Degree of Freedom. He has also a firm here in Athens, and this is what he do now in one of his projects. They have drawing-free construction sites, so there's no drawing at all. Everything is in BIM. And that helps really the dialogue with the contractor. It also makes it much easier when things is produced because it's so accurate. And the third thing is that they can handle very complex geometry This is dual. The stairs are really, really tricky, but when you have a BIM model, everything can be explained, and it's easy to see. So this is a very, very interesting thing. And we also see, this is from Covi, who have a new project, a new hospital in Stavanger. The BIM model is not just for building. We use the BIM model also in the operation for the doctors to actually see and register things that's going on in the hospital so they can manage them. And it can really save life if you have big sensor and use your BIM model. So from being just a designer, we are into the phase of the whole operation of the hospital. This is too detailed to go into, but if you want, I can explain later. But this is what Japp was talking about, how important the client is. I don't think if you are a CEO, you should pinpoint one person to see that you have the digital strategy. This should be implemented, you should own it yourself, and the development will be in the project. Don't think of anything in the back office. You have to be part of with the client and in a dialogue with the client. And one of the big clients in Norway who builds a lot of the universities and a lot of the big public buildings, they thought we will start something we call DigiBig. And DigiBig is actually exploring in every phase the possibility of new technology and digitalization. So both in planning, both in operation and building, and also back to the user. And if we follow this phase, if we manage all this data, we have enormous way to actually be better in the next phase, because then we see how the user actually use our buildings and the maintenance and so on. And then we can really transform and also take part more of the whole different things. But testing is a good way, and do that in your project with your client and also the contractor. So just an example, this is from Norconsult, and this is an example for new services. This was just a BIM model for total BIM models was used also for a new railroad. But then they saw, why can't we use this model? This BIM model was actually meant for the contractor to build after, to help the contractor, those who drive the trains, to train. To practice on how a different situation, you can simulate different simulation, like an animal coming out there, or a person, or how to speed up what is happening in special things, is it a fire, whatever. So this is used actually for training also. So this is just one way to look at it. New markets will come along when you test out digitalization. I think this is a fantastic picture. This is from a game, a world champion game in what it calls Fortnite. I don't know if you know this game, but I guess if you have a boy or girl who are 14 or 16 years, or a granddaughter or grandson, they're playing these games. And this is a huge, enormous potential. These people are so digital. And what we see from Norconsult, from other firms, that when these youngsters come to our firm, they start gaming our way of actually doing a project. And it gets more fun, and it really helps speed up on digitalization. So look at this as the goal generation. You can just pick them, and they are eager to actually be part of this digital new world. And of course, we have an image challenge, because usually we are not very diverse, very lot white men, but at least trying in diversity is a very good thing. And it also is in respect of who we are actually serving. We are serving a society of the diversity. And if we don't mirror that, if we don't understand the challenges from the different types of persons out there that we are shaping for, we are not that good. And also research shows that those firms who are focused on diversity, they have better profits. So this is a good thing. It was talked about sustainable development, and of course it has a really dark challenge now. But this is also a big opportunity for our firms, and I think we must look upon our competence and solution as actually key of very many of those things. We are the key player to solve this. And we should take this position. We should tell the society. We should tell the one who are in procurement. And actually, as we said before, using that in procurement is essential to do this because we are spending the money anyway. So why don't also use it to solve our challenges? So I wanted to just give you a small example from Norway because we thought we had a challenge in actually reaching out and be heard as a consulting engineer. A lot of people even didn't know who was a consulting engineer, what did they do. They heard about the architect, they heard about the contractor, but not about the consulting engineer. And we said we have so much knowledge, and we are obliged to actually share that with society. So we got the firms together, the big 6 firms, and other firms to make reports together. We started back in 2010, and then we've been doing reports every second or third year about the state of the nation, addressing the challenging of infrastructure and building, both the maintenance, the need of upgrading, the challenge between finance and needs, and how we can be part of that solution by finding smart new ways. And what has happened at this point is that this report gets a lot of political and media attention. It's been huge, first of all on TV, on radio, on newspaper, because it's so relevant for society. We see the flow, we see the climate change. So if we have both the knowledge and the solution, we are listened to. And I think we should grasp this possibility to actually be out there in the media with our knowledge. And what has happened in Norway, that is we have taken now the position, the media, we don't seek the media seeks us, the Consulting Engineering Association and our firm, for comments and insight to help them understand what is going on, what are the solutions, what is the facts. So thank you for that.